So in the last 24 hours, we have seen these allegations made coming out of Michael Schmidt's forthcoming book that when Donald Trump was rushed to Walter Reed Medical Center in 2019, it was not that he decided to get ahead on his 2020 physical. We suspected that from day one because it didn't make any sense. But Michael Schmidt is saying that something medical was taking place and that it was serious enough that Mike Pence was told, in case Trump has to be put under anesthesia, be on standby, be ready to take the helm as temporary president of the United States. So Donald Trump raised without prompting that he didn't really have a stroke on that day. Now, that was weird because it hasn't been alleged that Trump had a stroke on that day. But let's put the Trump piece aside and focus on Mike Pence now. Mike Pence was interviewed yesterday on Fox News by Bret Baier. Bret Baier, to his credit, asks the simple and straightforward question. Is it true that you were put on standby in case Donald Trump had to be put under anesthesia that day? The answer does not inspire confidence. Take a look at what Mike Pence had to say.
Other candidate from another party. This refers to Michael Schmidt's book where he says the president went to Walter Reed, which in fact happened in November of last year. He says in the book that you were put on alert to take control, to take office essentially, if he went under for anesthesia. Is that true?
President Donald Trump is in excellent health. And Brett, I'm always informed of the president's movements. And whether it was on that day or any other day, I'm informed. But there was nothing out of the ordinary about that moment or that day. And I just refer any other questions to the White House physician.
But as far as being on standby.
So the question is, were you put on alert in case Trump needed to be put under general anesthesia? And Mike Pence doesn't say no. Mike Pence says Trump is in excellent health. I'm always informed as to where Trump is and what Trump is doing, and nothing out of the ordinary took place. And go talk to the White House doctor about how healthy Donald Trump is. Not an answer that inspires confidence. In fact, when I hear Mike Pence say anything but no, what I'm hearing is yes. But Bret Baier tries again. Take a look at what happened.
As far as being on standby.
I don't recall being told to be on standby. I was informed that the president had a doctor's appointment, and I
don't want to spend too much time
on
it, but I just want to.
Yeah, I got to tell you, part of this job is you're always on standby. As your vice president of the United States, but the American people can be confident that this president is in remarkable good health, and every single day I see that energy in high relief.
I want to talk about.
I don't recall being told to be on standby, says Mike Pence. If you know how politicians lie and avoid answering questions, this is Mike Pence making it a semantic linguistic argument. He doesn't recall being told, and the word used was not standby. That's what Mike Pence wants us to believe. And then he goes back to this refrain of Trump is in great health. These are not denials, my friends. If I had to sum up what Mike Pence is saying, if I run what Mike Pence is saying through a politician decoding device, Mike Pence is saying, yeah, that's what happened, and I don't want to talk about it. No sane person could realistically watch that answer and think that Mike Pence is answering truthfully. If someone is asked a yes or no question, and they talk and they talk and they talk without answering the question, then the most likely answer is the one that would be most embarrassing, which in this case would be, yes, it is true. We lied. Trump didn't go to Walter Reed for a physical. Trump was abruptly rushed to the hospital. There was the possibility general anesthesia would be needed, and I was briefed to be on alert for that. He starts the answer with the biggest lie. Think back to that. He is asked about whether this took place, and he says the president is in great health. We know that's not true. Donald Trump is obese. He's medicated for high cholesterol, and he eats a terrible diet of fast food and doesn't exercise. So it starts with a completely obvious lie and gets worse from there. So we should continue to be careful not to make specific assertions about what happened when these are not the allegations that anybody with insight is making. So when Trump denies that he had a stroke, we shouldn't say, oh, he definitely had a stroke. but it should raise our suspicion because it hasn't been alleged. Trump is the one raising the idea of a stroke, and that's what's the biggest red flag here. Let me know what you think. I'm on Twitter at Pakman. What do you make of Donald Trump's tweet denying he had a stroke which had not been alleged, and Mike Pence refusing to answer the simple question? Let me know what you think. I'm on Twitter at Pakman.